Welcome associates, gather on the stand. This trial's a circus, but I've got a plan. Not a grifter, still worse than Dan. Hopscotch squares, don't trip, don't fall. BK in a felony, I've heard it all. Shake it, magic 8 Ball. Tell me the truth, will justice call? Me be the diva, she's running the show. To Capone and Meg, yeah, everybody knows. Fat or fat, well, nobody knows. What the corn echoes as the chaos grows. My credibility left in a vehicle. Hopscotch squares, don't trip, don't fall. BK in a felony, I've heard it all. Shake it, magic 8 Ball. Tell me the truth, will justice call? What the corn echoes as the chaos grows. My credibility left in a vehicle.
Oh, what you guys
you thought
can't
you were going to get me?
No, I knew I wasn't going to get you, but you guys can't see what we could see when that was playing. Was Miss Gabby down there turned her camera on and was dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. I caught her just at the very end. I knew it was going to go off before, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So,
Dancing with you.
That's why. Meanwhile, I was doing it too, and I was like, they got to see this.
Daddy Short Nuts, I read that and I'm about to put my tea out when because that was funny. Hello, Deidre.
Enormous thumbs in the tiny people.
Puddletown, we were sitting here talking and then we saw you come in and then you retracted 2 messages, but we could still see them in StreamYard. That's why, if you guys are wondering why because he put Q10, that's why Gabby put Q11, Carm put Q12. I didn't see Gabby put Q13. That's why I put Lucky Q13. But anyways, good morrow to you, Puddletown.
Good morrow, raven-haired AJ of the cornfield. How far is thou?
Coincide?
I'm swell. And you can read that one as well. Oh, hurry up.
Good morrow, bold Gabby of the royal crest of Donne. I don't even know what that word is. You and the toddy... What?
You are well, tiny maiden. I think I don't know. But that one made me laugh. Sorry, Pelton. That was so funny because you were like, don't make fun of my enormous thumbs and tiny keyboard. Except you didn't say my or tiny. And then you're like, dang it. I'm not typing anymore. Oh, it's such good. It's good entertainment. What's up, Snipe? I'm glad to see your regular photo today.
I know.
Goodbye, Afro Man. And your and your tiny flag suit.
I'm just saying, Afroman's going to go down in history from here on out.
100%.
When in doubt, make lemon... What is
Make
it?
lemon pound cake.
Lemon pound cake.
When life gives you lemons, you have to make lemon pound cake. I mean, that is legend forever. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. It's something. What's up,
Something.
whoever? I hope you are cooling off. We're warming up over here.
I hope so.
Carmen or Cartman.
No. We're not starting that.
Whichever one you choose. What's up, Bad Dazzer?
You will respect my authority.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Hi.
Daddy Short Nuts. I saw it because I'm parked across the street in a van.
Did you saw it or did you
I saw it.
Or did you
saw
saw it?
You said that earlier today, and it took everything in me not to be like, you did what?
I
said it.
Face would have been.
No, Gabby said it earlier.
Oh, I was like, I said it again.
She's
saw
like,
it.
I was looking at something, I saw it over there, and I was like, what?
Pretty. prithee or prithee or whatever the means pray.
Yeah. No one's ever said my name associated with anything about praying, so, you know.
Just trying to ward some shit off.
Oh, still hot there. Phew. It's 72 here. Well, now it's
100
now
degrees in Cali?
yeah, it's like super hot out there because
Oh,
That ain't nothing.
like I was watching Ryan Hall and he was saying if this was summer, he can't even imagine how hot it would really be because this is unseasonably hot. And I'm like, so they would be boiling. Let's just
That ain't nothing.
daddy nuts. I'm not lying.
I'm not lying. It is 69 degrees here right now. It was 72.
Oh! Wait, did someone say 69?
Oh, well, at least I didn't say 6'7" because I'm not ever saying that.
Good lord.
Well.
Excuse me?
Good.
No, Bad Dazzer is like my spirit animal. So
Absolutely.
Gets me.
I can see it.
Gets
I can see it. Okay.
whoever 6'9".
We're children. We know. It's okay. It's okay.
I
So
saw your Pac the vehicle.
I saw you park the V. I saw you park the vehicle. That's the only part
okay.
I can say.
We have a YouTube channel where we learn how to say words. We
Barely.
don't know how.
Most of the time I can't say anything, so it's okay. I know.
You? I mean, I
Yeah,
can barely even speak at all.
It's like try to read words. What are those?
Words are hard.
I'm
They
sorry.
are.
This is supposed to be English? My bad.
Sorry.
Hey, at least we're not in front of a judge where I'm like, it's robbery with a B.
B.
But that would be the best time of my life.
Also-
if I saw that.
Love you, Judge.
I'll tell you what, there is nothing worse than a judge going, we're going to go off the record and just glaring at you. I'm like,
Did you wink at him like Mikey D did?
no, I about shit myself. As it goes, we're going to,
Onyx.
she was like, we're going to go off the record and just stared into my soul.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
She was like, what did you just say? I was like, it's robbery with a B. Because I can't say the other word.
Hey, at least it wasn't Boyd because that's the worst one. When she says off the record.
Oh, you're going to get educated when she says off the record.
She's like, I'm sorry, did you see my Prada purse and these flowers right here?
Yeah,
Off
they're
the
pretty.
record.
Yeah.
Off the record.
Yeah.
I
What'd you
was-
think about my flowers? Don't care off the record.
Yeah.
I was just
Ruh-roh.
listening to her earlier. She goes, let's go off the record. And she looked at some like this kid. She's like, let me tell you something. I'm like, oh, son, you better run. And she was like, you're facing 20 years.
Yeah.
And it just went off.
And that's where I'd always say, welcome to the Boyd Dome, bitch.
Yeah, I like
Nice.
it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, she does give
I
some
love
wise
it.
advice off the
I like
record,
it.
though. Yep, I like it. I'm hoping that she is able to continue in some capacity or maybe gets appointed somewhere that we can still watch her. But if she gets appointed, it'll probably be in a court we can't see. But,
That sucks.
oh well.
I'm really sad. Hopefully she keeps her YouTube channel and like just hangs out.
Yeah, she'd do great. She would absolutely do
like-
great.
It'd be, like really hilarious to just randomly go on her YouTube channel and like you just see her at her kitchen table in her robe. And she's just like drinking tea and she's just like gabbing with us. Like it would be just so awesome. I feel like she's like down to earth like in real life, you know?
And she could just end it every stream with "Let's go off the record" and then tell us
Yeah.
what she really thought about everything.
Yeah, Judge
Or-
Boyd, if you're listening, you could just call
I'm sure
your
she is.
YouTube channel.
100%.
Let's go
Listening.
off the record or off the record. I mean,
Yep.
come on, this is gold. This is
Yeah,
gold.
absolutely.
Hashtag Judge Boyd in this because we need her in our life. Because, come on now.
Yeah, she's awesome.
You know where I would like just dig a hole in the ground and never come back out of it? Dekoff and Judge Boyd get together.
Who?
Dekoff is the judge that I
Judge that
decided to be like, love
Love
is
you.
life,
Oh, okay.
and accidentally let off pepper spray in her courtroom. It was robbery
You-
with a B.
Yeah, all that's in front of the same judge.
Oh
And
my god.
So this
But
judge,
they're
she is
they're
5
friends.
Oh, we're friends, yeah.
Oh, that's
But-
awesome though.
And she's like 5'0". So whenever
Oh,
she
so she's
gets,
Gabby size.
Yeah,
So
she's
when
my
she
size.
gets- when she gets down off the bench, I tower over her. But I'm still scared of her. And she always looks up at me and she goes, "Let me tell you."
She holds the gavel.
No,
And-
you've never seen Judge Dekoff. She's still active. So
Oh,
and
an
she's in
active
Indiana.
judge.
She's in Indiana, so there you won't ever see Judge Dekoff because
Oh my gosh. She scares me. I
yeah,
love that judge to death, but she
I
scares me.
love her so much.
Love you, Judge D.
Like, there was a time I felt so bad for the rest of the group because the very first inmate pissed her off. And I was like, I'm sorry, but it ain't good for the rest of you guys. And she looks at, she's like, anybody else want to smart off? Anybody else? And I was like, y'all better shut up. I'm like,
Yep.
your best option right here is to shake your head no and look at the
Ooh.
floor.
Well, Hera agrees with you apparently. And it's Hera barking this time, not your dog like it generally is.
All right, I'm gonna
Every
have to
time.
mute. I gotta
Okay.
mute to roll you down the hallway.
Oh, I was like, okay.
I shall return briefly.
Okay. Yes, Judge Boyd is watching right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Judge Boyd, remember when you and I both had to take down a certain trial that we shall not name?
Oh my god, I totally remember that. And like,
Remember that.
you know, Judge Boyd could totally be watching us right now because she's clearly our fans. I mean, come on.
100%.
She's sitting on her couch right now, drinking wine and just having a great time.
Flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge Simpson, are you talking about Judge Simpson? He has a channel.
Yeah, he has a channel.
He just doesn't leave his videos up. Most of the time, as soon as they're done, he's done. Little footsteps running down the hall. There, Carmen. You didn't get to
I sent her that picture today because I was talking to her about Afro Man. She's like, "What's going on with Afro Man?" Like, my mom tried to tell me, and I sent her the lemon pound cake video. It was the best.
I have been nothing but educated today.
Oh, you get very educated. I'm still on the fence about it because I don't know. It's such a dangerous slippery slope if he would have had to pay, but he's making money off of these making fun of these
Dumbasses?
people. Yeah. It is whoever. I feel bad for their families that didn't have anything to do with anything. That are their kids
feel-
especially that are having to go through stuff. I don't like.
I feel bad for that suit.
No, that suit was more like jammies.
Yeah.
That material was pajama material. It was not like a suit that I thought. It was a thinner material. Or as Bad Dowser would say, Jim Jams.
Jim Jam.
It was a suit bought on Temu, and it was a misprint, so that he got it on sale because that suit did not mean to be like that. Like, that's not what the American flag looks like at all. So Yeah.
Oh,
Just a bunch of
speaking
blue squares.
speaking of the U.S. of A's, guess what I learned today when I was learning about George Washington?
This is great, guys. Listen up, because you need to know this. It's hilarious.
This is a true thing. This is a fact. Did you know he had like 30 dogs? Because he loved dogs, but one of his dogs and his favorite dog that he took everywhere with him was named Sweet Lips.
You know what that reminds me of?
My mom didn't even
Nothing.
crack a smile.
You want
Nothing.
to know what that reminds me of? Hot Lips Houlihan from MASH.
There you go. There you go.
It was.
I hope he put
Hot
lipstick
lips.
on it.
Hot Lips Houlihan.
Oh, Carmen.
No, that's a serious
I
thing.
believe you. That's why I didn't laugh.
No, oh well, I did laugh. I mean, I laughed out loud, like really loud, like way louder than I laughed here when she told me.
What's up,
I
Haley?
mean,
One can never tell. We don't know with those people.
We don't know. We can't ever tell them apart.
That's what I was more thinking, Bad Desert, is why would you call your dog Sweet Lips?
Oh, he definitely kissed that dog on the mouth.
Sweet Lips, no hump.
Yeah. But he had a dog named Sweet Lips. And we had another dog named Drunkard. That was his hunting dog.
that sounds reassuring. Did that dog ever come home with any meat? For goodness sake,
Man.
that dog staggering in, gets like half a chicken wing.
It's like, I've been out there in the swamps. Damn it. I don't know.
Daddy Shortnuts, your comment didn't come up over in StreamYard. He says I call my wife Sweet
Tits.
Sweet.
that.
Sweet.
That dog won't hunt.
That dog. I mean, if that dog's sipping the Henny, I mean, he's not gonna hunt for nothing. But he might come back with a leg or two. You never know.
He might.
After I was learning about George Washington, I was like, we were screwed from the beginning.
Oh,
He's got
absolutely.
he's got a dog named Sweet Lips. He has another dog named Drunkard. That's his hunting dog. And then he just goes and starts a 7-year war with the Brits and the French.
The redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming.
Because he decided to spy on them and then got scared and just started bang, 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 bang.
No,
And then his dog
Yeah.
Drunkard is like, the redcoats? Excuse me, I have to get this turkey leg.
What's up, Ronnie? Come save me.
And Sweet Lips is
Hola.
like, no, you gotta wait, you gotta wait.
What's up, Bobby? Say, what now? Don't. Daddy Sweet Lips. I
Daddy
don't.
Sweet Lips. Yo,
No.
if I get an animal, if I ever get an animal, it's gonna be epic.
She's an old soul, Deidre. She's gonna be 40. She's old.
Wait, what is
She's right there. She's right there.
Gabby, how do you know all of these old shows? You're not old enough yet, girl. Let me tell you.
Girl,
okay?
please.
She
Girl,
actually pet Sweet Lips in person.
Yeah, I'm a time traveler. Okay.
She took Sweet Lips for a walk.
I mean,
Exactly.
she was probably with John Gary in his church, courthouse, and school all in one place, like Laura Ingalls. She was probably there with him.
I foresaid this.
That's where it came from.
Deidre.
When I, she
You know,
probably
like-
doesn't know that.
Ma'am,
like-
Deidre.
When the beginning of Little House on the Prairie and there's that baby that rolls down the hill, that's actually Gabby that trips.
She's
That's how I came
scary.
into the world. That's how I came into the world. I just rolled down a hill in Little House on the Prairie, rolled down it, and I was just like, ta-da, here I am.
She remembers douche pails. No. Nobody
Oh, I
wants
remember-
that.
No, everybody wants that.
It's all
I will
it's all they
forever
have to
be
watch in grandma's box. Oh
burnt in
man.
my brain. Douche pails. I mean, that was epic.
Oh no, that sounds
Lives. Yeah,
dangerous.
she's a youngin'. Not as young as the other one sitting over there, but she's a
Hey,
youngin'.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
No, you're
don't rush
not.
it.
She's like, I'm getting
catching
there.
up. Catching up.
Sweet Lips would be 250.
I'm
Oh,
7.
7 and times 7 in human years. That's a lot.
I was
I'm
gonna
not
say
doing math.
Oh, she went.
250 butthole 7. I was like, what the heck is a butthole? What is that thing?
I was like, what is that? Anyways, all right.
Never mind.
Hey, it's funny because it's really close to the years. 1750 is what that comes out to.
No,
You know,
we're not doing that. It's way too
17
late for that. It's way too late.
1700s. 250 divided by times 7. Nope. I'm out.
Exactly. I'm out. Karen's like, bye.
I do have to go take care of Cheyenne.
Karen's like, my back
All
hurts
right.
too, y'all. Yeah, your back hurts. What's your back? Twinging? Just a little twinge. Wait till you turn 40. You get up, you roll out of bed, and you're like, oh my God, what snap? Did I need that? Was that important?
Yeah, talk to me when you're 52.
I don't even want it. I feel it every
do.
day.
I do have to get Cheyenne medicine though.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Thanks a lot, Daddy Short Nuts. You mentioned chocolate starfish, and now Carmen's leaving. It's all your fault.
Oh, yes. It is. It was nice to see her. Talk to me when you're 409. Oh, whatever, youngin'.
Okay, hi, elf.
Will you still need me when I'm 52? Talk to you when you're 56. Oh, well, I will be 53 before too long. I'm getting closer every day. That is my age. 52. Be 53 in July. Which means my husband will be 55. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets senior coffee now at 55.
No, he does. He gets senior discount.
At 55, I think at McDonald's, but we don't go to McDonald's.
Well, Caleb's dad finally could get senior discount. He went to the drive-thru. He was so excited about it, right? He's like, oh, can I get a small hot coffee? Senior citizen discount. They give him the price. He's like, oh, it's only 3 cents. I'm all set. Drove right through the drive-thru. Drove by the drive-thru window. Peeled out. And I was like, God dang, Pop. Jeez.
Oh, man.
Like, you could have
Ooh,
just saved 3 cents.
3 whole cents. And they don't even make, they're not even going to make the penny anymore.
Right?
Daddy Short Nut's going to be 50 in August. Ooh, welcome to the club when you get there. It's great. It's great.
No way.
Right? Right,
baby.
Pedaltown? Right, John? It's so good.
Right?
Haley's
50, it's great.
Gonna
Love
be
that.
47.
Girl, I'm sorry, but Haley doesn't
And
look
so is whoever.
a day over 30. If you look at pictures of Haley now, she's young. She looks super young. She's hotcakes, just so you know.
I'm not as old as some think I am, but I'm old enough. Yep.
They always say he's like 86 or
Thanks,
something,
Ronnie.
but I don't think he's 86.
I don't think he's 86.
No, he's not 86 for sure. But
Well, I would agree with you, Pedaltown. I will agree with you. Well, Deidre, I see I'm the grandma of the chat.
I don't know. I mean, that's
Hey,
total of
it's
you.
okay.
I mean, you're
It's
looking
okay.
pretty good over there.
Yeah, she looks good, so it's fine. Yeah, that sucks when you're not the young one anymore, doesn't it? I used to be that too.
Mhm. I see my sister and I'm like, God dang it, you and your dang tight skin and your dang youthfulness. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out. Okay, now that Carmen's gone, we can
Now that Carmen's gone, we can talk
Now
about
that Carmen's gone.
grown folk things.
Yeah, they greeted me with a birthday card on my 50th birthday. I was like, get out of here.
AARP.
I was like, go away. See, had hair.
I still get those in the
Hair,
mail from Caleb's dad.
hair chases them away for me. She's like, get out of here, AARP.
I knew you were still listening. That's why I said it.
We know.
Jesus.
Okay, well, I'm gonna. Let me say this real quick. Make sure. Well, first, let me check my cameras and make sure like I'm not getting attacked. I'm sure my neighbor's dogs are just running because why would you keep your dog in your own yard?
That sounds the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yes, really. Like, why would you not? Okay.
Tunneltown.
Don't do it.
Lord.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Hopefully she
Now
doesn't
that-
see that.
We are not, Bobby Puddletown. Knock it off. Gagging, literally gagging.
She's gagging. I knew. I could hear her gagging once I read Puddletown's message. I was like, I heard it in my ear. She was like, ugh, ugh. Dry even.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm still reading. So we are going into closing argument, first part of closing arguments today in Miss Wade's trial. I'm going to play a short little part because Puddletown had brought up lesser included. There is a lesser included for manslaughter. What's up, Bri? Hello, sir. You just missed Carmen. She's still in the chat or listening. Not sure. And apparently, some things had changed with the Florida Supreme Court. I don't think it was the U.S. Supreme Court with how they, I think, were to instruct manslaughter. It needed to, I can tell you. But then I was kind of like, well, what happened to all the other people that were convicted on that old instruction? Do they get to, have a retrial here? What happened to them? Don't know. It's whatever. So we're going to listen to that. It's not like a very long part, but it'll just let you know where everything stands on that part of the instructions. And then I'm going to play, it's just over 8 minutes, but it is the defense showing they're doing a little bit of more talking about jury instructions, I think, but then the defense, you just wait till you see what they're going to do during their closing. Then we will hear the prosecutor's first part of their closing, all of the defense's closing, and then on Monday we will do the prosecutor's rebuttal and the verdict on Monday. So that's the plan for now. You guys always know when I say something always comes up. You hope she yells in her closing. Well, I will tell you that I do know that the guy sitting, the monotone dude does the first closing. So, yay. But his part is short. You know what I mean. I'm not saying anything else.
I mean, was that a short joke?
You take it for.
Were you just gonna say rah rah rah? Were you just gonna say that?
I just said his part is short. That is all I said. You take it as you want.
Unbelievable.
That's all.
It's not my fault. I was born with stubby limbs. Okay, AJ. Jeez.
I know, Bobby. She took it different, but that's okay. Oh, Gabby. Private part. Rah, rah, rah.
Rah, 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 rah.
Oh, my
All right,
gosh.
I'm gonna mute before I interrupt this whole thing.
Okay. All right. I have to make sure. Okay, because I had to sped up earlier. So I didn't want it to come in like Haley.
All right, then when there are lesser included crimes, and again, the defense just wants manslaughter, correct?
Yes, Judge. And then 3.4, I don't know if you have 3.4 in there, where when there are lesser included crimes or...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the very next thing. That comes right after
Sorry,
it was second-degree murder.
I flipped the page.
Okay, that's all right. All right, then comes manslaughter. All right, now this, as I said in the very beginning, is a little bit tricky. There's voluntary manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter. Involuntary manslaughter is culpable negligence, which is B. There's really no issue with that. There's been a lot of issues with voluntary.
I don't know why they're showing that. It's evidence of something. I don't know what it is. It has nothing to do with what they're talking about. So I don't know why it's there.
Manslaughter, in that the old instruction would have said Rachel Wade's act intentionally caused the death of Sarah Ludeman. And in the Montgomery case, the Supreme Court agreed with the first DCA that that is an improper instruction and is actually fundamental error. Even though that has been the instruction for decades, it was wrong the whole time. Even though it was promulgated, or at least approved by the Florida Supreme Court, they determined that their instruction that they approved was fundamental error. And in the Montgomery case, they promulgated an interim instruction that they are telling us to use. But it's an interim instruction because they want input on it. And the reviews haven't actually been consistent with the reviews for Gone with the Wind or anything. The reviews really haven't been good on the interim instruction because there's some problems with it. And that is, all it says is Rachel Wade's act caused the death of Sarah Ludeman, and that's it. So if there was any kind of negligence or any causation whatsoever, then the defendant is guilty of manslaughter if the victim died. So I don't know what the thinking of the defense is. Obviously, if you're trying for a manslaughter, then that may be something that doesn't bother you at all. If you're trying for a flat-out not guilty, maybe it's something that does bother you. Maybe you want that amended. Maybe you want to leave it the way it is. Maybe you want to not proceed with voluntary manslaughter, with voluntary manslaughter at all and just go with involuntary manslaughter. Have you had a chance to think about it?
We have discussed this in detail, Judge. I'd really like this evening to, I know you gave us a preemptory on this the other day, and I think we need to go through all of our evidence to evaluate exactly what the court just opined.
Okay. Well, like I said, what I have here is the standard instruction as of now, but it's an interim standard instruction
From Montgomery.
from Montgomery, and I gave you the cite on that.
Yes, sir.
And in that case, it has its reasoning for the ruling, and then it also has the interim instruction that it says that we have to use, and that's the interim instruction that we have right here. Right. Now, here's where you run into issues. What happened in Montgomery was that it came back as second-degree murder. I don't know if it was charged as second-degree murder or charged as first-degree murder, but it comes back as a second-degree murder, and then the defense argues that they were prejudiced because it was fundamental error, because it was an improper instruction on manslaughter, and the jury really couldn't come back with manslaughter, so they really just had the choice between second-degree murder and not guilty, so it eliminated a lesser-included offense, and therefore it was a fundamental error. But the thing about the Montgomery case is that the judge in that case did not give the culpable negligence instruction. He only gave voluntary manslaughter. So there are other cases that are coming out that are saying that it's not fundamental error if the judge gave both voluntary and involuntary manslaughter, because the jury would have had a choice with involuntary manslaughter. But if we use this instruction and if it comes back as murder in the second degree, then the defense really can't complain because of the reasoning in Montgomery. But then if we use this instruction and it comes back manslaughter, and the instruction as it is now makes it way too easy for the state to prove manslaughter, then there's going to be an issue. So you'll have to think about that one.
And you're correct. In the Montgomery case, it was charged as a first and came back as a deuce after verdict.
Now, if the defense is going to want the interim instruction modified in any way, you're going to have to say that you overtly want that. Not that you're acquiescing in it, but that's what you're asking for, and Ms. Wade's going to have to agree. She's going to have to understand this, too, so you're going to have to spend some time with her going over that. So you'll let me know in the morning, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it as ordered by the Florida Supreme Court. All right, next comes justifiable use of deadly force.
So that's pretty much all I had for that one. If you guys want to hear anything else, I can keep letting it play. But I just wanted to get that in there because I know that lesser included is included. There. I don't know if I could say included more. Oh, Gabby. Thank you very much. Pass the plate, y'all. Thank you very much, Gabby. And you didn't send me the shocker sticker thingy, whatever, that I do the shocker to accidentally. Ash, thank you very much for being a member for 6 months. I appreciate it. Ash, put that away. What are you guys doing? I'm sorry. Pass the plate, not that. It's my Indiana, it's my Nebraska Annie Massachusetts accent. It doesn't know. My brain doesn't know what I'm supposed to sound like. 25 months. Good grief. Thank you so much, Gabby. Ash never put that away. Bry with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Bry. Okay. Is that a superhero? I love it. I love it. That could have been me last week in the wind. It was so freaking windy here. I don't give it to anyone. I accidentally did it one day on stream. It was an accident. I swear it was. Daddy Short Nuts, thank you. Or what was your name earlier? Daddy Short Lips? Sweet Lips. Thank you for the sticker. Oh, it's a little fox. I wish I could show him on StreamYard, but I can't. What's up, Katie? How are you? I didn't get a chance to choose the sticker, so don't judge. It's fine. I love it. It's cute. I thank you. I thank all of you. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you very, very much. As a song, what? I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Brad, did I say yours was $10? If I didn't, I'm so sorry. But Brad's was $10 super sticker. I want to make sure I got it all. Daddy Short Nuts, I appreciate it. He says, I'm a big fan of yours and Gabby's, as it were. Well, I appreciate it. It is always fun having you join the chat. I don't want to know that drama. Okay, I'll stay out of it. I'm good. Yes, Bad Dowser, did you get groceries today? Alrighty. So, okay, nobody said they want to hear any more of that. I'm going to take it down, and he is a little mousy. We will go to the other little part of their little argument, and I don't know, maybe you guys won't think it is as funny as I did, just because they have tried to get this message into the heads of the jurors. I don't think it matters. They didn't ask me. They don't really care what I think about it. So here we go.
Is here, the state's here, defense counsel's here, and the order of business for right now is to see if there are any issues with the jury instructions before we get them all copied. What says the defense?
Judge, we have no issues with the jury instructions.
The name change.
We're going to ask for the standard instruction on the manslaughter.
All right, the standard interim instruction, you're actually asking for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As you type, Judge.
Rachel Way's act caused the death.
Okay.
And additionally, on the justifiable use of force, Judge, near the bottom, small paragraph, I don't have it in front of me, there is a section where it says victim, and I think the standard jury instructions allows for Sarah Ludman's name to be placed in that area, and that's the way it was throughout the entire jury instructions, so I was just asking that the word victim be changed to Sarah Ludman.
Yeah, well, I'll do that if I can find it.
Okay, and I'll grab it. Judge, it's the second page of the justifiable use of deadly force instruction, second full paragraph, last word.
Okay. I'll do that.
What's that?
Anything else?
Your Honor, we just
No, go on.
we discussed them all for debate, but if you want to take those back, and we can discuss those after Dean against them.
Okay. All right, so besides what you put on the record yesterday about wanting a forcible felony as part of the justifiable use of deadly force because of the vehicle, even though the vehicle was stopped, any objection whatsoever to any of the jury instructions?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, now, I can get you a new copy of that page where I change victim to Sarah Ludeman, or if you don't think you really want a copy of that, that's fine. So it's up to you if you want a copy of the new page or not.
I think we'll be all right without a copy.
Yeah, that's the only change.
That's the only change we're going to have. All right. So I'll just make sure that the change is made for the jury. Sometimes you don't notice any typographical errors or anything until you read it out loud to the jury. I don't know why. I'm sure a psychologist could explain that, but you're pretty confident that everything's accurate in here, Mr. Douglas?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, good. State?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so what was your question about demonstrative aids?
Your Honor, I noticed, and I just discussed with defense counsel, they have some demonstrative aids. The first one I addressed, and I understand that defense counsel is not going to use your one instruction was about reasonable doubt. That was,
We got
It's
another,
not right.
we got another one coming, Judge. I have several of them, and we picked up the wrong with the typo, so we'll take that.
Okay.
And I'll show it to the state before they.
Okay, that sounds like that's resolved, whatever that was.
okay. And then they also have demonstrative aids of persons depicting the girls in the fight, if defense counsel could show Your Honor.
Sure. Judge, I've used these cases before. They're just simply stand-ups reflective of the testimony of the height of the individuals. Completely proper for the defense to use an argument.
All right, so that has been measured, and the one figure is 5'9", and the other one is 5'2", or you only have one of them?
I have three of them, and they're
You
all
have three of them.
based on the testimony that came out of the witness stand.
And the issue the state has is maybe the height's right, but the dimensions of the
They can
individuals.
bring that up. It's not for the purpose of dimension, size, or any of those things. This is standard, Judge. If I try to make it look like somebody, then I think there'd be a problem because it doesn't accurately reflect. It's used for argument.
All right, so you have three of those. One is of the victim, or one is a cardboard individual who is 5'9", and then what are the other two?
The other two, that's the height of Janet and the height of Jaleesa, they testified.
Oh, okay, so you mean the three people in the vehicle?
Yes, sir. And I guess what I do with them is up to me. I mean, it's argument, so.
Right, so what's the state's objection?
Well, my objection was, again, I mean, they may have the height correct, but the dimensions and the weight of the individuals is not properly reflected by these exhibits. So,
All
that
right, well, as far as their width, it doesn't appear to be unreasonable. It doesn't appear to have the physique of Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. So I don't really see anything prejudicial there. As an officer of the court, you're telling us that those have been measured and those are the heights of the individuals involved?
Yes, sir. We measured them all.
How do you know what the heights are of the other two in the vehicle? I didn't ask about that. Asked them off the record?
I've got plenty of time. Janet testified when she was on the stand. Jaleesa testified. I asked him.
Okay.
No additional
All right. Anything else we need to talk about? I don't have a problem if he uses those.
no, sir.
Oh, that's right. And Mr. Douglas just reminded me, we confirmed it off of the Florida driver's license information. So we multiple sources.
Okay. All right. Anything else? How long do you want for closings?
I'm going to ask for an hour.
Sounds about reasonable. State, hour good for you? Okay.
Lies.
All right, so our court personnel hasn't...
All lies. I can tell you right now. That, I believe the state goes over. Total time. Remember that toy color forms? Here you put the vinyl. I remember those vinyl clothes. Oh man. I'm old. All right. So now I've seen his cardboard cutouts that he's going to use in his closings. I don't think they are, I don't know, because he's tried to hammer home the fact that there was this big discrepancy between them. It doesn't matter. The end result is still the same. And for me, if she was really, really worried that something was going to happen, that they were out to get her, stay home. Like, you should have never, don't go out. Just stay home. And I don't know. This whole thing is just, it's frustrating and it's annoying and it's sad. And I get he's doing his job. I don't hold it against him. I just don't think that makes a difference because, like I've said, some of those really small people are scrappy and quick. Ask my daughter. She knows. She has dealt with them. And she's like, and they're hard to hang on to.
Rah, rah, rah.
That's right. Yeah. Whoever, I don't know what happened. When I clicked on your name, it says you have one timeout, but it's not here. I don't know where it is. So, because I wondered where you went, because you all of a sudden went quiet. I scrolled all the way back as far as I can go on YouTube because I had to refresh. And there's nothing there. I forget what your last comment even that I can see is. Oh, you said, "Oh, cool, Haley." You know, what a horrible thing to say. And then you're gone. So, I don't know. But it wasn't anything that accidentally happened here. Being short doesn't mean we can't take a 6-foot-tall bing bong out. True, obviously. Well, I'm glad you did. So, who knows? I know Carmen used to get banned all the time. I know that shocks everybody. That she'd be like, YouTube timed me out, or YouTube banned me, or YouTube did this. But generally they would tell her for how long. Oh, whoops. I'm not muted, but he is. Sorry. We'll try that again.
The defense at every stage in this process has tried to impart upon all of us that the situation, the circumstances are a tragedy. In voir dire, you recall, he wanted every single juror to try to acknowledge that this situation was in fact a tragedy. In his opening statement, he stood before you and he said, "This is a tragedy for Sarah Ludeman and for my client." And even in his examinations of the witnesses, he worked that way in tragedy whenever he could. Well, jury members, nobody disputes the tragic nature of what transpired on April 15th, 2009. Because murder is always tragic. It always has been, it always will be. So yeah, was it tragic on April 15th, 2009, when Rachel Wade armed herself with a knife for what at least was going to be a confrontation, at most a fist fight? Yeah, that's pretty tragic. Was it tragic that on April 15th, 2009, in the early morning hours, when Sarah Ludeman pulled her van up quickly, stopped, and got out, was it tragic that Rachel Ludeman did not stand her ground, but took ground, but advanced upon Sarah Ludeman and stabbed her in the chest? Was that tragic? You bet it was. Was it tragic that in the 5 seconds it took for Rachel Wade to meet Sarah Ludeman, punch her, as Dustin Grimes said, in a downward motion twice in the chest, and then turn around, walk away, and announce, "I'm done"? Is that a tragedy? You're darn right it is. Was it tragic to hear Janet Camacho take the stand? A person who told you, "Sarah Ludeman was close to me. 2 of my kids were very attached to her. We had movies nights together. She was a friend of the family." Was it tragic to hear her testify after Jaleesa told her friend was stabbed and she walked around the van and she saw her laying on the ground, bleeding from the chest, foaming from the mouth, dying. Was it tragic to hear how she turned back to Rachel Wade and she said, "Are you serious? You stabbed her! You stabbed her!" Was it tragic to hear how Rachel Wade smirked, almost laughed, and said, "I don't care"? Well, murder's always a tragedy, and that's why there's justice. Jury members, you can't have justice without two things, truth and accountability, and that's where you come into play. Jurors are the truth seekers. Your job, as Mr. Hebert said, is to look at all the pieces of the puzzle. Look at all the pieces of the puzzle and determine which pieces fit, which pieces are credible, which evidence at the end of the day can you hang your hat on. And the evidence that isn't true, the evidence that you can't trust, that's not credible, that doesn't fit, you don't take that piece of the puzzle and try to cram it in where it doesn't belong. You don't pound it to make it go. You set it aside. Because if you do that, what happens to the picture of the puzzle? It's distorted. It's not true. So jury members, let's look at the evidence that is presented by both the state and the defense, and let's see if Ms. Hanowitz and I, let's see if the state of Florida have proved with the true evidence in the case beyond a reasonable doubt that Rachel Wade is in fact guilty of murder in the second degree. When you're trying to determine what evidence is credible, what evidence is not credible, you can look at a lot of things. And the judge read you the instruction on all the things you can look at, and one of the most important things he told you is you must rely upon your common sense. If a witness takes the stand and they give testimony under oath, and you heard the oath they all swore, I swear the testimony I'm about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You hear them make that oath and they take the stand, they testify today, and then you hear on cross-examination that they took that same exact oath at different points in this trial. And they admit that under that same exact oath, they lied. And not about immaterial matters like whether Janet Camacho's children were home on April 14th, 2009 in the late evening hours, but about material facts. Whether after the crime occurred, Javier LeBoy and Rachel Wade made plans to get married, made plans to have kids. That's crucial evidence. That's evidence Javier LeBoy and Rachel Wade both they admitted lying about under oath in a formal proceeding before you saw them today. When someone gives an oath and they lie in this manner, when they show you they have no respect for the oath they took before you today, can you trust their evidence? Can you rely upon it? Can you hang your hat on it at the end of the day? Well, I submit to you, you can't. But what about the evidence they actually spoke of at trial? Let's talk about what Javier LeBoy said. He said he never saw Rachel Wade hold the knife in her hand. And he was confident when he said it. Why? Because, as Ms. Hanowitz pointed out in her cross-examination, he knew in the prior hearing, he said the same thing. I never saw her with a knife. She can't impeach me on that because I said it in the prior hearing. He knew, he gave a sworn deposition in this case where he said, I never saw Rachel Wade with a knife. She can't impeach me on that. And he admitted to you, all taking the same oath. When you're determining the credibility of a witness's statements, you don't look just at their statements. You look at the person delivering the statements, how they come out, the emotion behind it. Now, y'all sat here, saw Javier LeBoy on the stand. What happened when Ms. Hanowitz said, well, you recall giving a 911 call in this case, don't you? He almost threw up. He looked down, he breathed deeply, His chin started quivering. At one point, he went like this with his hands while he was breathing deeply because he forgot about that. And we played that tape, and what did that tape show, jury members? The 911 operator says, "Where's the knife?" And he says, "She's got the knife in her hand." He lied to your faces under oath. But what else did that 911 tape say that is perhaps even more important than that? Javier LeBoy loves Rachel Wade. That's bias. Javier LeBoy wants to protect Rachel Wade. That's bias. And you can hear it in his voice. You can hear the conflict in his voice on the 911 call when the 911 dispatcher asks him, "Who stabbed her? Who stabbed her?" And he says, He was conflicted, and he refused to give the 911 operator Rachel Wade's name. She asks him again, and he still won't say her name. Javier LeBoy lied to you on the stand. He lied under the same oath in previous proceedings. His testimony is biased for the defendant, and it can't be trusted. Rachel Wade took the stand. She too admitted lying under the same oath at the same proceeding about her true relationship and plans with Javier LeBoy. She too was shown she cannot be trusted. She further, under that same oath, looked all of you in the eye and said, "I was cooperative with the police." Well, let's talk about what she thinks is cooperating with the police. The testimony that came forth at trial today to rebut that statement was that after the stabbing occurred, she took a knife, she walked between the house, the murder weapon, and she threw it onto a roof. She didn't throw it, she didn't lob it onto the roof. She hurled this knife so far she almost cleared the roof. And then she sat down on a bench in front of Javier LeBoy's house, and she watched as paramedics treated Rachel Wade in the street. She watched as Rachel Wade was bleeding in the street. She heard the commotion of the bystanders in the street. She saw the police actively searching for the murder weapon in this case. She saw the police take a canine dog and send the canine dog searching for the murder weapon in this case. She's cooperating with the police, jury members. She says, "I threw it on the roof," but she didn't do that. She sat there, calm, cool, collected, and asked, "Can I smoke a cigarette?" She was confronted with her testimony. She was taken in. She gave an hour-long interview. In her entire story, she never mentions a knife. The detective told you that. The detective finally has had enough, and he says, "We know there was a knife. She's been stabbed. Tell us about the knife," and she further denies the knife. Is that cooperation, or is that her once again hiding the truth? Is that her once again lying under oath? Rachel Wade's testimony could not be trusted yesterday. Jury members, the judge read you the law. The judge read you what the state had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in order for you to find the defendant was guilty. So let's apply the evidence you can trust to the facts, the credible evidence, and let's see if the state of Florida proved our case. The first thing we have to prove is that Sarah Ludeman is dead. The defense has stipulated Sarah Ludeman is dead. Number two, the death was caused by the criminal act of Rachel Wade. Dr. Thogmartin took the stand. He stood before you, and I said, "Doctor, have you formed any expert opinions regarding the cause of Sarah Ludeman's death?" "Yes, I have. I found the cause to be a stab wound to the chest. Manner of death? Homicide. Who had the knife in the early morning hours of April 15th? Rachel Wade. Who approached Sarah Ludeman with that knife April 15th, 2009? Rachel Wade. Who, as Dustin Grimes put it, a witness whose only allegiance up to this point was to Javier the boy and Rachel. He didn't know Sarah, he didn't know Janet, he didn't know Jaleesa from Adam. But he was good friends with Javier. And what did he say he saw? He saw Rachel Wade, as Sarah Ludeman got out of her car, walk up to Sarah Ludeman, and with a punching motion, punch downward twice into her chest, and then turn around and walk away. And then he saw the knife in her hand. This is a guy who's getting shipped off to the army. This is a brave man. What did he tell you? Did you go near her? No. I stayed back. Why? Because she had that knife and he now knew what she was capable of doing with it. So Rachel Wade, was the death of Sarah Ludeman caused by the criminal act of Rachel Wade? You bet it was. So the last thing we have to prove in order for you to convict the defendant of second-degree murder is that there was an unlawful killing of Sarah Ludeman by an act eminently dangerous to another, demonstrating a depraved mind without regard for human life. Well, that's a mouthful. And luckily, the judge gave us guidance as to exactly what acts are eminently dangerous to another and demonstrating a depraved mind. Number one, a person of ordinary judgment. It's an act that a person with ordinary judgment would know is reasonably certain to kill or do serious injury to another. Well, that's where common sense comes into play. You pick up a knife and plunge it into someone's chest, not once but twice, with enough force. You saw the blade on that knife, it's bent. With enough force to rip through not just skin, not just the fatty tissue of Sarah Ludeman's breast, not just her muscle, but her rib bone, her lung, her pericardial sac, and ultimately her heart. Common sense tells you when you do that to a person, it's an act reasonably certain to kill or to serious bodily injury. I'm going to skip 2 for a second, go down to 3. Do we prove the act is of such a nature that the act itself indicates indifference to human life? Common sense tells you you don't plunge a knife into somebody's chest unless you have no care whatsoever whether that person lives or dies. That's an indifference to human life. And Janet Camacho told you about that when she said, "Are you serious? You stabbed her?" And she said, "I don't care." With the credible evidence, the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant did. Number 3. So let's go back up to number 2. Was the act done from ill will, hatred, spite, or an evil intent? And I circled the word "or," because we don't have to prove that she acted with evil intent, hatred, ill will, spite, all of them, just one. We don't have to look any further than the voicemail Sarah Ludeman recorded on her phone to see the Rachel Wade you heard from yesterday. The Rachel Wade that Rachel Wade wanted you to see wasn't the same one that put that knife in Sarah Ludeman's chest.
Don't you have to fucking age, Sarah? Seriously, answer your fucking phone, don't be fucking pussy. You wanna come through my fucking neighborhood and be a psycho bitch, just like fucking Aaron. Fuck with Josh's car, you're fucking with me when you fuck with his shit, seriously. I'm letting you know now, you're either gonna get fucked up or something of yours is, so watch the fuck out, or answer your fucking phone, stop being a bitch.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To save it, press 9. To hear more options, press 0. To replay this message, press 4. To get envelope information about this message, press 5. Sent Tuesday, July 29th at 3:36 a.m. Duration 22 seconds. To erase this message, press 7. To save it, press 9. This message will be saved for 21 days. Next message.
Please tell me, Sarah, why you would be a dumb enough cunt to fucking put a brand new picture of you and Josh at the beach on your MySpace. Seriously, I told you to watch your fucking back and not to fucking chill with him. Now your ass is mine, and I'm guaranteeing you I'm gonna fucking murder you. I'm letting you know that now, because you know what? Josh might have played me, but bitch, I'm gonna play your ass out too. Watch. You're a fucking fat bitch, and I'm gonna fucking kill you. I swear on my life. Walk out your fucking window when I get off work tonight, you dumb bitch.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To save it, press 9. To hear more options, press 0. To replay this message, press 4. To get envelope information about this message, press 5. Sent Friday, August 29th at 4:33 p.m. from phone number 727-290-7572. Duration 34 seconds. To erase this message, press 7. To save it, press 9. This message will be saved for 21 days. Next message.
It's so funny how you talk shit and you want to sit there and say that my man was at your house. Then tell me what he was wearing tonight, Sarah. You're a dumb bitch for real. If you're fucking lying, I'm going to find you and I'm going to beat your ass. If you're not lying, I'm going to find you and beat your ass, okay? You keep playing fucking games. You're a pathetic little bitch, and you're a little fucking girl. Honestly, what the fuck do you have that's going for you that Josh wants you over me for? I got a job, had my own place. What the fuck? Seriously? He can get anything he wants from me, any fucking thing. Not to mention that I look probably 10 times fucking better than you, and you fucking run your mouth. You still got your mommy and daddy's curfew, bitch. For God's sake, what the fuck why do you run your fucking mouth, and why are you that pathetic? Please do leave the shit on your MySpace, because that's old news, just like you and him are. So keep talking shit, Sarah. You don't know when to stop. You haven't learned your lesson yet, but I'm gonna fucking teach you it. I'm telling you now. Keep fucking with me, Sarah. You and Aaron both are fucking dumb, psychotic little bitches, and I'm telling you now, I'm gonna show you psycho. Keep fucking with me. You're fucking with the wrong person, and you're fucking with the one thing that I care about. So keep fucking going, Sarah. Play your motherfucking game, because I'm gonna teach you how to grow up real motherfucking quick.
End of message.
And this CD is in evidence, and when you go back to deliberate, you're going to be able to hear it again. You're going to be able to hear the words Rachel Wade spoke. The words somebody in this case was taking seriously. The words somebody wanted a record of. It wasn't Rachel Wade. She told the police that when Sarah threatened her, she didn't think she was serious. Sarah must have thought she was serious. Why else would she have saved messages for 9 months? Why else would she have played them for her friends? For one reason and one reason only. If Rachel Wade showed her psycho, if Rachel Wade made good on her guarantee and murdered her, her friends could tell the police of the existence of this evidence and justice could be had. You hear the hatred in her voice. You hear the ill will. You hear the spite. And this is hatred, ill will, and spite that brewed in Rachel Wade for 9 to 10 months unchecked, unbridled, and unresolved until on April 14th, 2009, April 15th, 2009, it finally came to a head. And we all know how it ended. It ended in murder in the second degree, and we proved our case. Did we prove it beyond a reasonable doubt? Well, let's look at the doubt the defense has tried to cast on this case. They've tried to cast it in the form of self-defense. Once, looking at all the credible evidence, you've determined that the state has met our burden. We proved the case beyond a reasonable doubt. You must then determine if we prove beyond a reasonable doubt, if we present enough evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to show she was not justified in the use of deadly force. And the judge went over that instruction with you. I highlighted a couple things, and I'm going to go over them now. Perhaps the most important thing is the definition of deadly force. Force likely to cause death or great bodily harm. person is justified in using deadly force if she reasonably believes such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm. Again, jury members, this is where your common sense comes into play. Rachel Wade testified that when Sarah Ludeman got out of the car, Janet had not gotten out of the car yet. Jaleesa had not gotten out of the car yet. It's a little confusing because she gave 3 or 4 different versions of it under oath. But ultimately what came out on the stand was Sarah Ludeman was the first person out of the car. Who's the only person to get stabbed in this case? Sarah Ludeman. Was Sarah Ludeman armed? No. She knew she didn't have a weapon. She knew she didn't have a gun. And during cross-examination, she even said to Ms. Hanowicz, after Ms. Hanowicz got her frustrated, after she got her angry, she said, I wasn't scared of the gun with Sarah, I was scared of the gun with Josh. Josh wasn't in that car, and she told you that. She had no fear of a gun. She had no fear of a knife or a bat, as Mr. Hebert tried to throw into the picture. It was Sarah Ludeman and Rachel Wade. A one-on-one confrontation. A one-on-one confrontation that Rachel Wade walked 10 to 12 feet to create. That's not self-defense. You know it was justified in the use of self-defense, and we heard about it. It was Sarah Ludeman. Sarah Ludeman, who gets out of her car, for what purpose? To confront her or to fight her? Who knows? But she gets out of the car and she's barely rounded the door of the car when suddenly she's confronted with Rachel Wade. Rachel Wade, who all the evidence cries out and says is holding the knife up as she approaches Sarah Ludeman. So if Sarah Ludeman is still in the doorway or has rounded the doorway or is just to the headlight of her car, either way, suddenly she's confronted with Rachel Wade holding a knife up within inches of her. Inches of her. Can she run at that point? No. She has to stand her ground. She has to fight back. And the testimony of all the witnesses is that's what she did. She grabbed her by her hair. She flailed her arms out. She tried to punch her in the head. But it was no use. Because 2 quick jabs is all it took for Rachel Wade to serve her purpose, to do what she intended to do, to stab her in the chest. And unfortunately, that caused her death. You can't get self-defense if after arming yourself to protect yourself, however, this is the second highlighted portion of the paragraph. The defendant cannot justify the use of deadly force if after arming herself, she renewed her difficulty with Sarah Ludeman when she could have avoided the difficulty. Mr. Hebert wants you to take into consideration all these extraneous facts about a car swerving and Sarah's aggressive driving and so forth. What happened after the car swerved? She asked Javier Laboy where Sarah Ludeman lived, where she could find her and Josh Camacho, and then she traveled there. And she begged her to come out and fight. Is that renewing the conflict? Yes. It's not self-defense. Arming herself, and when Sarah Ludeman gets out of the car, taking ground and advancing upon Sarah Ludeman with a knife, that's not self-defense. That's renewing a conflict. It doesn't apply, and she's guilty. Jury members, there's a couple other instructions I want to go over with you quickly. A lesser included offense of the offense of murder in the second degree is manslaughter. But if you're applying the true evidence, the credible evidence to the law, and you determine the state did meet our burden, we proved her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, that's where your inquiry ends. You don't even look at the manslaughter charge. But if you determine we haven't, then you look at it. And I'm going to make it real easy for you. It's murder too, without the hatred, without the ill will, without the spite, without the evil intent. But we know she had it. We know it when it was on her voice on these tapes. We know when Janet Camacho testified to it, when she heard the speakerphone conversation where she said, "I'm going to stab you and your Mexican boyfriend," and minutes later made good on her threat. Jury members, murder is always tragic. Sarah Ludeman's murder is no different. But in order for there to be justice, there must be accountability. When these arguments conclude, I'm going to ask that you go back, you weigh the evidence, you cast aside the pieces of the puzzle that don't fit, you apply the credible evidence to the law, and you render the verdict in support of the credible evidence, the verdict holding Rachel Wade accountable for what she did that tragic night of April 15th, 2009, find her guilty of murder in the second degree. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dicus. Mr. Hebert, you may proceed with your closing argument.
Thank you, Judge. Please, the court.
Counsel, they came to her. They came to her. Mr. Dicus is absolutely right that I have talked about this being a tragedy. You could not sit in this courtroom on either side and not feel the pain of these two families. And make no mistake, that's all I'm talking about, what happened on April last year. Let's look at the state's case. When you look at the state's case, you must look to see what witnesses they presented and what witnesses they presented that spoke to you about the issue of self-defense. And then you must look to determine whether or not their witnesses disproved the defense's case of self-defense. The first witness they called in this case was Ashley Lovelady. Members of the jury, there is no doubt that Ashley Lovelady comes into this courtroom with a heavy heart. She was Sarah's friend. These are teenage girls. This was incredibly difficult. There's no doubt. She acknowledged that Josh was a cheater, that Josh cheated on Aaron, that Josh cheated on Rachel, and that Josh cheated on Sarah, and that Josh liked the term friends with benefits, and that if he was in a relationship, he would be cheating. She understood what was going on. She understood what was going on in Sarah's life. She understood the Facebook and the MySpace and the texting and the phones and the hate and the back and forth and the banter. According to her, and only her, she went to Janet's house to drop off a cell phone. Now, when Mr. Dicus spoke a moment ago, he spoke about inconsistencies in testimony, and I would agree with him. Just like in jury selection, when we talked about the color of the pants, whether they're white or tan, whether that's an important issue. But the problem is, this is the way teenage kids talk. They hedge, they cut corners, and I'll talk about this a lot more in a few minutes. But nobody else saw her at the house. She acknowledged that they were all there, but nobody else saw her at the house. Then, we know for sure she didn't tell the police what happened. She didn't tell her story accurately. And again, I would submit to you, this is the way teenagers think. But then you may recall, because I actually stood out and demonstrated with her so that you would have a clear understanding about her really only role in this case, which was when she came into contact with the van. Now, she doesn't admit trying to hit my client as she flew by. She doesn't admit to swerving. She doesn't want to admit any of that. But at some point in time, she knows that my client is at Javier's house. Okay? And you may recall when I asked Javier and I asked Rachel, did you discuss where you were going with anybody else in the world? That you were going to a safe house? Did you discuss it with any? No. So there's only one way that she knows where she is. She drove by the house. We've got Dustin's testimony saying she had to swerve to avoid hitting and she was traveling on high speed. We have Javier's testimony saying that she had to actually pull Rachel out of the way. But then we got into the demonstration, and you may recall, because I think I was pretty demonstrative in my cross-examination. You pulled up, and your car was facing this direction. And they pulled up, and their car was facing this direction. And you remember what she said? I said, did you talk to Sarah? She said, no. I told Janet. I specifically told Janet she's over at Javier's house. Well, I would submit to the court and to you, members of the jury, that again, that's teenage banter. She doesn't want to be the one that came in, the catalyst that caused all of this to happen. Because if she doesn't say anything, we're not here. And this tragedy doesn't occur. But she tells Sarah, and now she knows that Sarah's mad. And she knows that there's no stopping Sarah. And that Sarah is in a rage, and she takes off. Now keep in mind, when you compare that testimony to the testimony of Jaleesa and Janet in a few minutes, the cars were facing in opposite directions. And the conversation took place from the driver's side window to the driver's side window. The next witness the state called, and there were 4 eyewitnesses. There were 4 eyewitnesses plus my client. The state decided to call the 3 that they wanted to call. They called Jaleesa Smith. She doesn't really know the whole score. She's related some way by cousin to Janet Camacho. When she testified, she didn't admit to smoking any marijuana. She didn't admit to smoking or drinking. They were at the house, and when she came in the house, when she was in the driveway, sitting in the driveway, a car passed by. And I specifically asked her about the car. First thing she said was that she thought there were 2 people in the car. The next thing she said, and this was really important, that Janet was inside the house, and that Josh was inside the house, and that Rachel was inside, that Sarah was inside the house. Why is that important? Because if you remember what Janet said, she actually saw Rachel parked, flashed the lights, this whole back and forth thing, and that she started walking towards the car. Again, I'm submitting to you that's the way teenage girls talk. She's not telling the truth. It didn't happen. Now, when they get in the car and they start driving, she talks about confronting Ashley Lovelady. She had no idea who Ashley Lovelady was. She went through the same exercise that I just went through. We were parked this way, she came up this way, and she told Sarah where Rachel was. Now, when she spoke with the detectives about what had happened, and I specifically asked this on cross-examination, and then I asked the detective about this alleged phone call, "I'm going to stab you and your Mexican boyfriend." Do you remember what Jaleesha's comment was? According to the detective, that she saw a text message saying that Rachel was at Sarah's house. In the initial statement, she didn't say anything about the phone call. Hold that thought, because we'll get to that in a minute. What she did tell you is the moment that car came into contact with Ashley Lovelady and was told where to go, all hell broke loose. Not my words, her words. All hell broke loose. She never said anything about going to Sarah's house. You may recall, Janet said, we went to Sarah's house to see if she was there. Follow this logic for 1 second. If you're truly in fear of somebody, if you really believe those voicemails, if you really think they're going to stab and murder you, if you take those threats seriously, why do you get in the car and pass your own home and go and hunt them down? The answer is in her next statement. Jaleesa said, I'm pretty sure something bad was going to happen. Sarah wanted to fight. Members of the jury, they came to her. You have to look at this situation. You have to step into this situation and realize how charged it was, how evolving it was, how fluid it was. It was bam, 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 bam. And it was electric. And it was festering and it was exploding. She said there was no stopping Sarah. They were no longer going to McDonald's. Getting out of the car wasn't an option. The car went zoom, zoom, zoom. It swerved. It was racing to get there because at that point in time, she knew where Rachel was. And she was going to get her. She was going there. She was going there to beat her down. And Janet had her back. She knew Sarah was mad. She knew Sarah was going to fight. And this is another important issue she offered us. She knew Janet was mad. She knew Janet was mad. That car ride, those seconds, it was a charged situation. She talked about the driving. It wasn't a normal stop. It came around the corner, it was dark, and if she hadn't hit the brakes, she would have slammed or hit Rachel's car or Rachel. Take a look at this exhibit. You're going to get to take all of this evidence back with you in deciding your verdict. You may have wondered, or you may have even figured out why the defense continued to show you Defense Exhibits 7A and 7B. And the reason why, members of the jury, is for whatever reason, in this picture, the flash did not go off. In this picture, the flash did. In all of the pictures that you've seen of the scene that night, the van pictures, everything the state offered, you see pictures that look like this. That's not what it looked like to Rachel Wade that night. That's a lot closer to what it looked like. And why is that important? Rachel Wade was sitting in this direction. Look where we're standing, look where we're looking. That light is behind her. That light from this position casts a lot of light on the area on this end of the car. This area is very dark. And in a few minutes, when I talk to you about the jury instructions, I'm going to talk to you about what she was perceiving and about the threat. That the threat doesn't have to be real, but it has to be in her mind what was going on. The other picture that we showed you quite a bit in evidence are these two pictures. And the reason why we offered these two pictures
And albeit, and I would certainly concede for witnesses, it was very difficult to understand and appreciate what these pictures were. Most people have never been in a helicopter. These pictures were taken by law enforcement to give an aerial view of what was going on. We know that this is Javier's house. This is Javier's house. Okay? We know that. We know in relationship, you can see where these pictures and the other pictures are. But I want you to look at this, members of the jury. Look specifically at this, because I asked Detective Lynch about this. And the young witnesses may not have known, but I can assure you he knew. What direction did the van come from? What direction? And he said this was the direction the van came from. Members of the jury, look at the marks in the road. Look at how this van took that turn. Look at how fast that van took its turn in the pitch black dark. When you get back in the deliberation room, you'll have access to all of this to be able to look at it and evaluate it. When we continue to talk about Jaleisha, when she was talking about the van, she said it wasn't a normal stop. Now, Sarah knew how she was going to stop, but Rachel Wade didn't know how she was going to stop. And let me assure you, in this world, a 3,000-pound vehicle coming around a corner at that rate of speed at you is a deadly weapon. And let me assure you that you can't step into her mind and know what she was thinking. She was already on a heightened alert because one car had almost hit her already. And that van she recognized, and then she saw Sarah and Janet sitting in the front seat. Now, Jaleisha said once the van made that abrupt stop, she saw the knife. And this is an important distinction, because you may recall she stepped down on direct examination and she held her hand like this. And then on cross-examination, I had her step down here and she held her arm like this. Now, we know that Jaleisha saw the knife, according to her testimony. We know that Janet saw the knife. I think we can easily argue that Sarah saw the knife. But what's the difference between this and this? This is a defensive position. She didn't say she came out of like this, like a Psycho movie. She said her hand was down like that. Look at your notes. Reflect on your memory. Remember this angle. This was a defensive position. She also said that both girls put their hands up to fight. And she couldn't tell if Sarah had been stabbed. Now, why is that important? She couldn't tell you who threw the first blow. She couldn't tell you what blows, the number of blows that were exchanged. She couldn't tell you because she was not able to see. She knew that there was a tussle. That is critically important in just a moment when I take all three of the state's eyewitnesses and talk to you about their burden to disprove our self-defense. She also acknowledged that Sarah was bigger, that she was heavier, that she was taller than Rachel. They played her 911 call. Quote, "I don't know how she was stabbed. I don't know how she was stabbed." You'll have that evidence. What does that tell you? She can't tell you whether or not Rachel Wade was acting in self-defense because she doesn't know how she was stabbed. I saw the knife. She admits that. And then, in an interesting twist, she says that she's over on the side of the van with Janet, and before Janet ever engaged, she grabbed Janet, and she was holding Janet back.
Interesting thing about that is Janet said that never happened. Dustin said it didn't happen. Javier said it didn't happen. But according to Jaleesa, she grabbed her. Again, when we look at the evidence, we have to look at all the pieces. There was one thing that I think was fairly consistent throughout this trial. The first time that anybody realized that Sarah was hurt was when Jaleesa yelled. She went around the car and she was tending to her. And that's when they realized that she was hurt. The next witness they called, Janet Camacho. Well, much like her brother, she wasn't sure whether or not they were dating. I think we beat that a lot, beat that dead horse, as they say. Now, in her testimony, she said her children were home, if you recall. Now, that's interesting because Josh says they were smoking marijuana and they were drinking vodka and the children weren't home. And if you believe Janet, then she left her kids with Josh, I guess, while she went to McDonald's with the rest of them. She knew about the drama. She knew about Sarah, Rachel, Aaron. She knew about the triangle. She wasn't really around when when Rachel was dating Josh, but she wasn't a big fan of Rachel. And you heard a little bit about the animosity, and you heard about the threats, and that Rachel had been threatened by Janet, and that Rachel was in fear of Janet. She was with a boy named Jeremy. She doesn't know his last name or his cell phone number. And she said, I wasn't smoking pot. No, nobody was smoking pot. Nobody was drinking. There was no partying going on, although Josh says they smoked 7 blunts. She then says that she's outside. The cars are parked outside, and the car was parked. Rachel's car was parked, not paused for a few seconds at a stop sign, was parked, and that they blinked, her boyfriend blinked his lights, and then Rachel blinked her lights back. None of those statements are corroborated. None of those statements are consistent, and I would suggest to you that they're extremely self-serving on the part of Janet. She didn't know anything about Ashley showing up at the house to deliver the cell phone. You may have seen a puzzled look on her face. Again, a collateral issue, like Mr. Dyke has said. And the first time she saw Ashley was in the street. Now, there are some sequence of events that I'd like you to just take a close look at, which is the alleged phone call. She clearly says that the alleged phone call, I'm going to stab you and your Mexican boyfriend, took place before they ever found Ashley. Use your memory, look at your notes. I don't think that's consistent with any of the other testimony. She said once Sarah got the phone call, they put it on speakerphone. And despite that, even if you believe that happened, she still went looking for her. She went to her house to find her. And then they encounter Ashley. And again, I went through the same exercise. I won't bore you with those details because it's exactly the same. The car's facing opposite. Did Ashley talk to you, Janet? No, she was talking to Sarah. She told Sarah that they were at Javier's house. She did tell you a few interesting quotes. She kept saying over and over again, where you at? Where you at? That's what Sarah was saying. Where you at? Because Sarah wanted to find Rachel. Sarah is looking for Rachel. Nobody called the police. Nobody went home. And she was going to have Sarah's back. Jaleesa even acknowledged that Janet was mad. She was in a rage. She acknowledged the car came up fast. It stopped 4 to 5 feet from Rachel's car. And she said she saw the knife. Again, she said she saw the knife. Here's the interesting point. We know what Jaleesa saw, and now we're going to talk about what Janet saw. Quote, she did not see the tussle. Her words. She did not see the tussle. She doesn't know who threw the first punch. She doesn't know who grabbed whose hair. She offers no direct evidence about the event. You've heard Jaleesa, you've heard Janet, and then we're going to talk about Dustin in a second. She acknowledged that Sarah's 5'9" and bigger than Rachel. She said that her view was obstructed by where she was coming from. She then acknowledged that she fought Rachel before she ever knew that Sarah was hurt. She fought Rachel before she ever knew. Again, go back into the mind of Rachel Wade. 3 girls fly out of a car. 1 girl engages her. A second one, in a continuous event, engages her. Janet had no idea Sarah had been hurt. She also said that Jaleesa never held her back. That's not true. And then I finished my cross-examination with a couple of really poignant quotes that she gave you. If I'm there, she's not going to fight, meaning Rachel, because Janet ain't putting up with it. And finally, my last question, her last comment was, she didn't want to deal with me. Next witness, Dustin Grimes. I agree with Mr. Dykes. Going into the military, brave man. Came into this court via videotape that was done several months ago. Noticed or knew that Rachel came over to get out of the situation she was in and get her mind off of things. She was upset. Her demeanor was upset. She was crying. I think he even said a little raged. He says, and this is important, he says the vehicle drove by, flying by, as if to run her over. And it came within 1 to 2 feet of hitting Rachel. And I'm talking about Ashley's car. Now, he does offer an inconsistency in his timeline. Because what we know from every witness in this case is that in this case, it was literally minutes from when Ashley drove by and nearly hit Rachel to when the van pulled up. So there's no way that Sarah left for some 20 minutes, that Rachel left for some 20 minutes and was gone. So I would suggest to you that his timeline is not accurate. Look at your notes, look at the facts, look at the evidence. Within minutes, the van pulls up. Before it does, he does hear Rachel say, "I'm going to effing kill that bitch." That's what he testified to. Now, he specifically said that he thought she was talking smack. Now, keep in mind, when that's said, at that point in time, the car hadn't gone by, and nobody in the world but Javier, Dustin, and Rachel knew they were at Javier's house. And it was consistent with the way teenage girls talk. He also acknowledged on videotape that the knife was there for just protection. He too acknowledged the van traveled at a high rate of speed and that, and this is important, all 3 girls flew out of the van at the same time. All 3 girls flew out of the van at the same time. Javier says they flew out 1 second apart. The girls want to make it a one-on-one. The state wants to make it a one-on-one. But in Rachel's mind, this was a 3-on-1. This was going to be a beatdown. Sarah moved first. Sarah moved fast. This thing took place not by the door, but in front of the vehicle, in front of the front driver's side fender. Look at the video. Look at what he said. Pay close attention to these details. Sarah had Rachel by the hair. Sarah threw 3 to 4 punches. When we talk about self-defense, at what point in time does an individual have to guess which punch is going to knock them to the ground, or knock them into a car, or knock them onto concrete, or cause them to be knocked unconscious and somebody kicks them and ruptures their spleen, or knocks the knife out of her hand and she gets stabbed? At what point in time does Rachel have to make that determination before she can defend herself? Think about this for 1 second. take the knife away. What do you think happens that night? They beat the crap out of Rachel Wade. That's what happens. Do they kill her? I don't know. Do they call her serious bodily injury? I don't know. Could it have happened? Absolutely. They brought the fight to her. Dustin said when they locked up, he didn't know she was stabbed. I'll say it again. Dustin said when they locked up, he didn't know she was stabbed. The fight was continuous, meaning the fight between Sarah and Rachel and the fight between Janet and Rachel. Look at the tape. It'll tell you. He says the word continuous. I question him on it. He agrees. It was continuous. Janet never knew she was stabbed before she engaged Rachel Wade. The fight was continuous. That's it. Those are the three fact witnesses the state are relying on to prove my client guilty of second-degree murder. Those are the three witnesses. Members of the jury, when you look at those three witnesses and you look at the evidence presented by those three witnesses, do you have any evidence before you today that says that she acted in self-defense and was justified? Do you have any evidence that the state, because it is the government's burden to disprove self-defense, do you have any evidence, concrete, hard evidence, to say that Rachel Wade did not act in self-defense? Jaleesa, I didn't even know she was stabbed. I didn't see that. Janet, I didn't see the event. My view is obstructed. Dustin, look at Dustin's testimony again. The aggressor was Sarah. The punches were landed by Sarah. I didn't even know she was stabbed. And that's the government's case. Now, of course, they didn't want to call Javier, because Javier said almost the same thing that Dustin said. That Sarah was the aggressor, that Sarah got out of the car, that Sarah came at Rachel, and Rachel had a right to stand her ground and defend herself. She had the right to be there, Rachel. This wasn't trespassing. She wasn't in somebody's house. She had an absolute right to be there. They brought the fight to her. We then heard from several law enforcement officers, and I promised to be a little quicker in reviewing their testimony. Officer Simpkins came in, and he did not offer very much. But the things that I made notes on was that he specifically said that Jaleesa told him in the initial interview nothing about the I'll stab you and your Mexican boyfriend, but that what she did talk about was that she saw a text message from Rachel to Sarah. Sergeant Trey came in. It was the female sergeant that came in, and she talked about demeanor. She talked about Rachel's demeanor in this event. And she said that Rachel was sitting there calm. I said, like in shock? She said, yeah. Things changed when she saw the blood. You heard her testimony. She didn't know Sarah had passed away. She sat there in shock. She was stoic. You draw whatever conclusions you want when an 18-year-old is involved in this type of situation, how they should react. And then we heard from the lead detective, Detective Lynch. And Detective Lynch offered what I would say is the state's key pieces of evidence in their minds, the audio tapes. I'm sure they'll be played again. They were played in first opening, and they probably will be played again in second opening, and they'll be hammered and hammered and hammered and hammered, and I understand why. But you have to make a judgment call about those tapes. They're 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, before this event ever took place. It's the way young people were talking. Do you think for 1 second that Rachel Wade ever thought when she was talking big, when she was talking smack, that she would have to come to court one day and say, I didn't mean to murder her? You get to judge her credibility based on her testimony. Take a look at that. The last witness the government called was the medical examiner. And that was an extremely difficult series of questions. You saw very difficult photographs. This is not a DUI. This isn't a driving on a suspended license. This is a homicide. This is a second-degree murder case that's being tried here in Pinellas County. And when I talked about tragedy, there is no doubt this poor girl is not here. There are two families that are hurting beyond any possible imagination. But make sure when you look at that evidence, you understand the physical nature of that evidence. And when you take into that testimony, do not be drawn in by the prosecutor's passionate plea for this awful, awful event. Give it the proper weight. He was very straightforward. He was very professional. He testified about the facts. Give it the proper weight. We're not disputing it didn't happen, members of the jury. We stipulated to that. We stipulated that that was Sarah. And it was awful to see her in those pictures. There's nobody that would question that. He did offer that she was 166 pounds and that she was 5'9" based on her measurements, and that they did not test for marijuana. We then moved to the defense case. And as I said it before, I reserved my opening. Tactical decision. Didn't know what evidence the state would offer. Wanted you to see all the pieces of the puzzle. What was interesting about Javier Laboy's testimony was the state didn't ask him very many questions about the event. They just wanted to hammer him about marrying Rachel Wade, having a relationship and dating Rachel Wade while she's been locked up, and corresponding and calling and planning a marriage and naming their kids and running away together. Well, members of the jury, all of that happened after Javier Laboy gave his first statement. All of that happened after Javier Laboy made that 911 call. Remember what? They wanted to ask her about the knife. And I think Javier Laboy did an exceptional job explaining that. Well, how did you know about the knife? I didn't see the knife. Dustin was telling me she had the knife. I was on the phone. I was saying these things. I was telling her what was going on. I knew she had been stabbed. He explained that beautifully. But not only that, if you recall that 911 call, he said a couple things that were so important. She was getting jumped. And she was there to defend herself. Defend herself. Rachel Wade was there to defend herself. That's the best evidence we have in this case. It's fresh, it's on point, it's right there. And I would submit to you that the state's attempt to impeach him backfired badly for them on that issue. I'm quite certain they won't address the issue in their next closing argument. I'm certain of that. They won't address the jumped comment. They won't address the defend herself comment. They just want to say that he didn't see the knife. Well, you get to use your judgment to make a determination as whether or not he was being truthful. He said in his testimony, he got a call from somebody he hadn't talked to in quite some time. He said he knew about the drama between Josh and Sarah, and he knew about the friends with benefits, and he knew about the social networks, and he knew about the issues involving Facebook and MySpace and all of that. And he said to her, his friend, come on over. And then I asked him that same question I asked Rachel. Did you call, tell, text, network anyone in the world that Rachel was coming over? He said, no. Why is that important? Because it was a safe house, because that's where he was going to take her so Rachel didn't have to deal with the drama anymore. Now, they arrive, Dustin arrives sometime thereafter. He talks about her demeanor. She's crying, she's visibly upset. She's on the phone, she's back and forth. There's a lot going on, there's a lot of drama. He thinks what we should do is go to dinner and get away from all of this. Then all of a sudden the first issue, and just like I said in opening yesterday, the first issue came up, which was Ashley's car. Car came by, high rate of speed, she had to pull him out of the way. I know you remember the testimony, it's crystal clear. He then says, at that point in time, I was going to get my keys because you know what? I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to get her out of there. But he didn't have time because moments later, a street racer came by. His words, drifting, his words. Very, very fast. Now, he is familiar with this area. This is where he lives. It's his house. He showed you which way they were coming. In fact, his exact quote was, she was going so fast, it almost went up on two wheels. Look at the exhibits. Look at the physical evidence. Rachel was on the hood of the car, towards the front, somewhere in that area. I think most people in this case agree with that. It was dark. Sarah stopped the car 4 to 5 feet away. Sarah got out of the car. And this, members of the jury, may be the most important pieces of evidence we have in this case. Sarah was the aggressor. Sarah came to Rachel. They met in between the cars. We use this large blow-up. We use this large blow-up because it was the biggest and clearest picture. And he said that this confrontation took place in the middle area in front of the car. Keep in mind, Sarah's nose of her car is right here. They're 4 feet apart. Sarah went from here to here. She had no other, Rachel went from here to here. Sarah had to get out of the car and come all the way here and have that confrontation there. He also said that Sarah struck first, that Sarah struck 3 to 4 blows to the head, that Sarah grabbed her by her hair. She charged Rachel. In the state's cross-examination of all of this, as I said before, they focused on things that happened 6 months later, a year later. The hearing was almost a year after the event when they were making plans to get married. His testimony didn't change. And they want to say motive and bias and all of that stuff, that he's in love with her and he wants to have children with her. Use your own judgment, use your own common sense. They weren't in a relationship. Kind of hard to be in a relationship when someone's locked up. And don't forget that 911 call. The next witness, albeit a short witness, played a pivotal role in this case. The state didn't want to call him for whatever reason. We called Josh Camacho. I'll spend very little time on Josh because I have no tolerance for that. I'm not sure what he really had to say. I'm not sure what he really had to offer. He agreed that they were all friends with benefits. I would describe him as a player. He lied about the gun, he lied about smoking, then says, yeah, we were smoking and we were drinking. We had 7 joints that night. He wasn't really sure how many shots. He lied about holding a gun. He lied about he lied about Rachel knowing about the gun. He lied about pointing a gun at Rachel's head. The bottom line is, Josh Camacho washed his hands and feet of all these girls. You got a flavor for what this guy was all about. I don't think I have to say anything more about Josh Camacho. And finally, the last witness that the defense called was Rachel Wade. Members of the jury, you have to draw your own conclusions and evaluating the testimony of the witnesses. I would submit to you that Rachel testified truthfully. I would submit to you that Rachel testified like a 20-year-old girl who is going through a most horrific situation. Judge her credibility. Look into her eyes. She never meant for this to happen. She told you all about the events of that night. She was at her house and she heard Sarah pull up in the van and she wanted to get out of there. And she grabbed a kitchen knife out of her drawer and put it in her purse for protection. And she made that one phone call to somebody who had nothing to do with any of this, who had had no contact with him in months, and she went to Javier's house. And she didn't tell anybody, and she didn't text anybody, and she didn't say, by the way, everybody, I'm at Javier's house. And she went there, and she was crying, and she was upset. And she was tired of the drama too. She didn't go. This fight didn't occur at McDonald's. This fight didn't occur at Subway. This fight didn't occur at Taco Bell. This fight didn't occur at Sarah's house or Janet's house. The fight was brought to her. The state, in their opening statement just a few moments ago, said that you can't believe Rachel because she lied about the relationship with Javier. First of all, let's keep our eye on the ball. Let's look at the facts that are important in this case. Let's talk about what happened the night of April 15th. It's nothing more than a collateral attack by the part of the state, reaching for straws. The first car passes by. She has to be pulled out of the way. She acknowledges that. It heightens her awareness. The second van pulls up moments later. They pile out of the car, all three girls. Sarah comes to her, she's the aggressor. Who is the aggressor? Sarah. Who threw the first punch? Sarah. Who grabbed you by the hair? Sarah. That's her testimony. Look back on it. And again, I go back to that fundamental issue. At what point in time does a citizen have to figure out what's in the mind of the assailant? At what point in time? And in just a moment, I'm going to read you the jury instruction that says she has the right to have that weapon with her. And she has the right to defend herself. We don't know what they were capable of. You know what? Jaleesa knew she wasn't going to do anything that night, right? She knew that. She was in the van for the ride. Did Rachel Wade know that? Did Rachel Wade know that Jaleesa wasn't part of the posse in the backup and had her back? Absolutely not. You have to go into her state of mind. If there's no knife, what are we left with? Bottom line, they beat the crap out of her. They beat her down. Do they kill her? We can all speculate. Do they seriously injure her? We can all speculate. Does it take one blow? How many times have we seen or heard of cases where somebody gets knocked down, a purse snatcher knocks an older woman down to the ground, she hits her head on the curb and she dies? How many times have we heard of one-punch fights where a person gets hit in the wrong place in the head and they die? Or they have serious bodily injury or have brain injury? She doesn't have to figure out what. She just has to figure out whether or not she has a right to defend herself, and she did that night. Before I get to the law, and I promise you I'm getting fairly close to wrapping up, I want to speak to you about a fairly sensitive subject. It's fairly simple because I think we've all been through it, and that is the juvenile mind. What's it like to be a teenager? We've all been through it, and we take our life experiences with us as we go. As we get older, we learn from our mistakes. As we get older, we look back on our past and realize the differences. But as a teenage girl, under these circumstances, they were operating on emotion. Think about that. Think about the emotion. They say things without thinking. They do things without thinking. We sit here and look at this case and say, gosh, if only Sarah had gone home. Gosh, if Ashley hadn't told her where she was. Gosh. Because that's what adults do. That's what people with life experiences do. You have to walk and look at this from the mind of a teenager. I am absolutely confident that we have all heard, and we have probably all said, what were you thinking? Well, that's real easy. What were you thinking? They weren't thinking. And one of the things that we talked about in jury selection that I hope has come through in this case is about generations. When we look at generations, I'm sure that you and I have all heard our parents say, oh, you have no idea how hard it was for us. I had to cart milk through the snow or up 5 flights of stairs. I didn't have a car. I didn't have an ATM machine. I didn't have a cell phone. We've all heard that from our parents, and they talk about how their generation had it tougher than our generation. Well, I think we can all agree, without exception, that the gap between our generation and this generation is probably the biggest gap in the history of mankind. And part of that gap is based on technology, is based on the internet, is based on the instant message, is based on the instant feedback. You know why people text? I suggest to you the reason why people text is because they want an immediate response right away. When we talked about a jury selection, you and I may think that texting 10 times a day is a lot. I submit to you, in their world, texting 10 times an hour is undervalued, is on the low end. Technology has changed everything, and then you couple that with the teenage mind. I want you to take that into consideration and evaluate this case. Let me talk to you briefly about the law, and then I'll be wrapping up. And I realize that this is a long and tedious process, but it's important. As I said to you just a moment ago, this isn't a DUI trial. This is Rachel's trial for second-degree murder. So I'm going to ask you stay with me and follow me through with these arguments for a few minutes. The first instruction I'm going to show you is part of the self-defense instruction. You will have this with you when you go back. I think the judge has already given you a copy of it. But this is what I want you to look at. In deciding whether the defendant was justified in the use of deadly force, you must judge her by the circumstances by which she was surrounded at the time the force was used. The danger facing the defendant need not have been actual. However, to justify the use of deadly force, the appearance of danger must have been so real that a reasonably cautious and prudent person under the same circumstances would have believed that the danger could be avoided only through the use of that force. Based upon appearances, the defendant must have actually believed the danger was real. This is nobody else's call but Rachel's. And you have to look at whether or not Rachel believed it. By the circumstances by which she was surrounded at the time of the force. The danger facing the defendant need not have been real. It's what she perceived to be real.
Your Honor, I'm going to object at this point to a misstatement of the law.
Overruled. You'll obviously have your opportunity to go over that if you want during your rebuttal argument.
What is that?
Did they just sound the alarm for him to shut the fudge up? Was that the shut the F up meatwad alarm? I felt like it was. Look at her face in the background. She was like, I knew they were gonna sound that alarm. He be talking. He be a talker, y'all.
Is there a hurricane coming? Like, was it the first Friday of the? No, it wasn't the first Friday of the month. That's when they test our tornado sirens around here.
It was a meat NATO on a meat NATO.
NATO. It did sound like an air raid siren.
I was like, what are they doing? Are they getting? That's what I thought. I looked up and I was like, what in the heck is happening?
Everybody duck and cover. Get under your desk. Okay. Well, that was a nice little interruption.
I mean, that was.
Was that the woman prosecutor?
Yeah, it was. She opened her mouth and called all the other,
Well, she did just speak, and then that goes off.
Yeah.
It's like,
she was like, make them shut up.
That was like, no, that's not here. It's nice and sunny here. The hoe alarm went off. Oh my god.
He wishes.
I think that was the alarm notifying
the alarm
neighborhood
before.
Dogs, like, plug your ears.
That was the alarm before the alarm. Okay, that was the warning alarm.
Well, I can at least now tell you we have about 6 minutes left.
Are you sure? Is this like when he said 25 minutes ago that he was about to stop and then never did? And then he was like, okay, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna like just wrap it up in a few minutes, and never did.
Yeah. I know, because I know where I have to stop this video, because this video is over 2 hours long, and trust me, we're not doing it all.
Well, your alarm is going to be the PFJ gong to wrap it up. So when you hear the gong, your order is ready.
Okay. So, just stick with me here. We got, like, that's right, Snipe. Just stick with me. Just stick with me. We got like 6 minutes left. If
Lock
that.
your dogs up alert.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, that's sad.
Oh my god, I
wouldn't know
read
what
that as a tiramisu alarm. I was like, a cake alarm? What is happening? Why would you have an alarm for a cake?
I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do with that. Like
I
I said, he can't land a plane.
Can't land a plane.
I've been trying to get better at it, so I may not hopefully be as bad as he is right now. I don't think I ever have either, Haley.
It's not all that in a bag of chips, if you know what I mean.
Tiramisu alarm. Terror. Misu alarm.
Terror.
Got it. Yum, grab your forks. I about said grab your folks, but don't do that.
I was just going to say grab your sporks.
Aha, don't do that either. Okay, we can do this. Thank you, alarm, for giving us a break. Here we go.
Read. If you find the defendant who, because of threats or prior difficulties with Sarah Ludeman, had reasonable grounds to believe that she was in danger. Is that a problem for us, Judge? I mean, is that a fire?
No, this happens every Friday at noon.
Okay. That makes everybody feel a little better.
Where does this dude live? That he doesn't know that.
No, it's fine. It happens every Friday at noon. What does it mean, Judge? What does it mean?
What does that mean? Like, I know they test our tornado sirens the first Friday of every single month at noon. Without fail. It happens. Like, how does he not know that that happens every Friday at noon?
No, I can't.
Come on.
Oh my god, that was the best.
Do you all hear that too?
Yeah. Judge's like, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. This happens every Friday.
Oh no.
No one in the
What
town
dogs?
knows why it happens, but it just happens.
It just happens. I mean, but it's Thursday, Judge. I guess, but I can barely hear mine because I live apparently in the middle of nowhere. But I can still hear it, and trust me, Big-eared Roo hears it all. So if I don't hear it, she's at the window. She doesn't howl at it anymore, which is good. But, I mean, come on. He's in Florida. That state is narrow in most parts.
The state is narrow in more than one part. All their pines are narrow. Everything about Florida is just narrow.
Narrow. Like, he's heard it. Whatever.
They need the alarm to wake brains up.
I mean, jeez. What is that, Judge? Seriously. Come on now.
God, I can't.
The corn heard it. It has ears. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Ash is like, I heard it. I mean, yeah. She's like, I heard all the way up here in Canada.
She heard it in second Canada, for goodness
In second Canada. Oh my gosh. All right, let's start this again. That woman in the back has been entertaining because she has nodded off. She's chatting up that dude and her neck. I kind of agree. Whoever said they were on their first date, I don't know who that was. I'm kind of agreeing. And
oh my God, can you imagine?
He's like, my name's Joshua.
He's like, hey Susan, my name's Josh.
She's like, oh. He's like, well, we're never going to officially date.
He's like, yeah, but don't worry. It's Friday, so wait for noon. You'll be really excited.
Yes. Well, you do live in a place that very rarely gets tornadoes. But I can tell you, that's pretty much what it sounds like. Except it gets, as it goes around, it gets a little bit, less loud, and then it gets louder as it comes by your area. It's really annoying.
In my town, I'd be like, get the Burchettis! Get them out! We're doing this now!
I mean, they do it in Florida. If the oldies don't come out, they know they're dead. Oh my gosh!
It's like,
See you, Ronnie. Oh my goodness. On that
Ronnie's
note,
like, and that's
Ronnie is like, bye.
Dead old people zombies, I'm out.
I'm out. I heard that. She's like, I heard the alarm. I just want everyone to know. I'm alive.
She's like, I have to go iron something.
Yes, I'm alive. I'm alive. Gabby, would you bring a cannoli to a fist fight?
Hell no.
All right. No. They break in and find the pensioners. Just haven't turned their hearing aids on. I love how Haley talks. That's old people for us Americans.
That's old people. That's what that means, that word right there.
Okay, here we go.
You're sure?
The defendant.
I know.
Who, because of threats or prior difficulties with Sarah Ludeman, had reasonable grounds to believe that she was in danger. Is that a problem for us, Judge? Is that a fire?
No, this happens every Friday at noon.
Okay. I think that makes everybody feel a little better. If you find the defendant who, because of threats or prior difficulties with Sarah Ludeman, had reasonable grounds to believe that she was in danger of death or great bodily harm at the hands of Sarah Ludeman, then the defendant had the right to arm herself. And finally, when you weigh the evidence on reasonable doubt, If, in your consideration of the issue of self-defense, you have a reasonable doubt on the question of whether the defendant was justified in the use of deadly force, you should find the defendant not guilty. Read all of these pieces of evidence and apply it to the pieces of the puzzle. Apply it to the facts and evidence that came from the witness stand. I would submit to you, members of the jury, this may be the most important piece of instruction you have. I would submit to you, and I would challenge the state to tell you where and how they disproved our self-defense case. Their 3 eyewitnesses could not address this issue.
Gabby, you're not muted.
Finally, the court will talk to you about reasonable doubt. You'll have that with you. A reasonable doubt is not a mere possible or speculative doubt, imaginary or forced. Such a doubt must not influence you to return a verdict of not guilty if you have an abiding conviction of guilt. On the other hand, if, after carefully considering, comparing, and weighing all the evidence, there's not an abiding conviction of guilt, or if having a conviction, it is one which is not stable, but one which wavers and vacillates, then the charge is not proved beyond every, every reasonable doubt. Every reasonable doubt. And you must find the defendant not guilty because the doubt is reasonable. You'll have that instruction. You'll be able to look at that. You have 5 minutes, Mr. Thank you.
5-minute warning he just gave him. Comes the puppets, or the cutouts, whatever they are. There they are.
Wait, there's a puppet?
That thing.
A life-size?
Came to her.
Huh? Poor man's mannequin.
They came to her.
These are just the people on the bathroom stalls. Man's room, men's room, women's room.
They came to her. Members of the jury, you are 4 to 5 feet from where these 3 girls were when they piled out of this car. You were 4 to 5 feet. We're not on a dark street. There's no speeding van coming around the corner. And they saw the knife. Janet saw it. Jaleisha saw it. I would submit to you that Rachel saw it. I'm sorry, that Sarah saw it. There is no doubt that this is a tragic situation. Do not let a second tragedy occur here today. Apply the facts to the law and see that justice is carried out. See that justice is carried out. Rachel Wade had a right to be there. Rachel Wade had a right to stand her ground. Rachel Wade had a right to defend herself. Nothing we Sarah can do can ever bring Sarah back. Nothing we can ever do can ever change this tragedy. But you can take the facts and the evidence and see that justice is carried out. She had a right to be there. She defended herself. And we ask that you find her not guilty, because that's what the evidence and the law requires. Thank you for your attention and your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hebert.
Okay, members of the jury at this time, they're going to take a break, and so are we. Oh my goodness.
can't.
Gabby's.
I can't. I just can't. I mean,
What's. That was, what? I'm trying. Was that who? What? Bobby, what's how supposed to be there? I'm trying to. Never mind. There's some things I know I can't say here.
I lost my decoder ring. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what word that's supposed to be.
Haley, yes. Yes, I am. I can't help it.
Yeah, she's done.
Once I heard that alarm, that was it for me.
It just came out of nowhere.
Gone. What? And then the judge's explanation of it, completely lost after that. I was like, yo, this judge is so useless. This lawyer's like, is this a problem for you?
Do we need to be concerned? Does anybody else in that packed courtroom look concerned to you, sir?
Yeah. He's like, is there a fire or something? And the judge's like, no, this happens every Friday at noon.
Every Friday noon. Shut up.
Cheeser, Louisiana. Don't you know anything?
Go sit down. Please. As short as their openings were, they're like, let's save all our time for closing. And they did. Okay, so on Monday, we only have the prosecutor. We have the little energetic prosecutor, trying to be nice, for an hour and 30 minutes. We're going to get yelled at. I don't know if we're going to get yelled at.
But we might get
There may be. We might get yelled at for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not sure. I mean. Oh my gosh.
The sky is falling.
That's true, Bad Dazzler. We don't.
No, he's not even here.
I'm good. I'm good. Oh, who's those? Were those? Now, see, I can't. You're. Wow.
Where's those?
I was trying to. Were those his family? The cardboard cutouts were Sarah, Jaleesa, and I think Janet. How could I forget Janet? Janet throw her shoe at me through the door like right now. Janet's not here.
Dang it, Janet.
What happens if there is a tornado at noon on a Friday? Nobody's going to believe it. Especially around here. If it's first Friday of the month, everybody's just going to be like, I don't care what the weather's doing outside. Hims, them, door, them's family. Stop. I will. Them some white mayonnaise peeps. Yes.
It sounds like those are poor man's mannequins. Those are some poor man's mannequins.
The cardboard cutouts were his dad listening to Gabby laugh. I can't. Oh, no one in Florida is white. They are orange.
No.
Well, don't use bronzer. That will turn you orange. Just saying. Don't get the tanning lotion with bronzer in it. Might tan you quicker, but you're gonna be orange.
White mayonnaise peeps? What?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh god.
He didn't draw on them? No. I thought he might at least
smiley face or something.
He could have at least like X marks the spot so we could see, and then had one of Rachel so we could see exactly the height difference of how her arm would have had to be when she got Sarah.
I mean, he
That
could
would've
have
helped.
at least drawn some boobs or something. You know what I mean?
Something.
I mean,
If
he
you're-
could have called in Mikey D to draw on these people, so we would have known who was who. I mean, he would have done a great job.
Yeah, sure. If I'm a tornado, I'm definitely striking from Friday at noon.
The tornado knows. Well, here we go again, Cletus. Gotta drive by Florida at noon every day.
This is the only chat where I cannot tie-o. You know it's supposed to be type 5. Sorry, Fuddletown. I bet he drew them on once they got home. Probably. He probably like tucked it into bed with him.
Those are his guests at his dinner table.
Still, to this day, he could have drawn the injuries with all the blood. Yes. Minus the blood. I don't think the judge would have allowed that. Googly eyes would have helped.
He posts them on, they just have fucking googly eyes on them. Yo, I mean, honestly, that's something I would expect in this trial. I mean, what?
Drawer. Did I say drawer?
No, that was me. I probably said
Okay. Sorry. I don't know anymore. Ever since I said SAR, I have no. Now I question everything.
You're like, dang it, Gabby. Hanging out with Gabby too much is a bad influence on my English. I'm like a SARS.
Gabby was all drawer.
I was like, draw, rah, rah.
See, I can't say.
Draw, rah.
The tornado ate my Tesla.
Tesla.
Well, around here, they would find the one person that said it that way. Trust me, and they would have no teeth.
They're like, Tesla.
He could have gotten Bob Ross to help. I don't know if he was. When did old Bob Ross die? His trial was in 2010. Oh my gosh. Them cutouts are sleeping with the fishes now. What the heck?
Yo, why? The whole street, he's like, dang it, text a voice or whatever, and he comes in hot with this one. You can't blame that on your autocorrect there. Okay, 9-6.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I can't.
He died in like 98. Okay, 96. Whoever. 96. So too late. And he died in like 98. Okay, 96. Whatever. Oh, I was looking for her, not realizing you meant that was her. Don't do that. Bobby, you are the only one that could have even said that at all. Don't do that. Oh, he died in 95, 96, 98. It's all in there. It's all the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Ashes.
Me and you. Me and you both.
It doesn't matter.
My eyes so many times. Since the alarm went off, I've been wiping my eyes.
It was in the 90s. That's correct. It may have been early 2000s. Nobody knows. But he did.
Oh my god.
That's all we. Yes, it was too late. We just know that for sure. 100%. Oh, that. Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
Puddletown. Oh my
Apparently
gosh.
Puddletown knew.
Apparently Puddletown knew.
He was holding out on us this whole time.
Bob didn't like painting people. Bob didn't like painting people anyway. Well, were they really people? Like real people or just people in general?
Happy little trees. They were just
Cardboard cutouts. Like, define people.
happy little
Judge.
tree people.
Judge, what is that? Dur, dur, dur. Okay, now I have to say it in rah, rah, rah.
Dur, dur, dur.
The squirrel's done nimming. Dang squirrels. They would have all been trees. That would have been. Yes, a high. Whoops. He was a high. Oh, I thought you were going to say he was a high, happy little tree. But he was high on happy little trees. He hated paint, actually.
Tree W. Tree.
The
Trees?
big
Twee?
CA did him in. Well, dang it. S, that's an S, dang it. Sure. Bone
Okay,
people,
yeah.
what?
What?
Bone people paint, bahaha. Bone people paint. What? I don't know what bone people are. Tweed.
Skeletons just
all together.
Tweed.
Tweed. We heard. You told us. I'm glad that you came down, or maybe have gone back up. I don't know. You did too. Well, you guys.
What is it? It's a Tiva or the other one? Which one are you doing with all that?
You know. Apparently we're missing out, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just over here high on life. That's all I need.
She's like, not bone. Haley, I'm convinced you never came back down, Bobby.
He never did.
Because
No.
he says, no, like I got really high. He's still there. Coming
Look at all
down.
those A's and L's in there. He's still there.
He's still there. He's still there.
Really,
Yeah.
really high.
I like it boning. Well, I was watching the recap of Afro Man trial with Runkle, so that would be the way to watch.
Oh, man.
Yep, we knew it. I'm still there. We knew it. You did not have to tell us. It was fine. I had to talk to people today. Well, were they there? Were they real? Are you sure?
I mean, he talked to me and I was really there, so that was at least one that really was there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's all I got. Tomorrow's spring. I'm happy.
Is it? Is it the first
Yep.
day of spring tomorrow?
I might skip
Oh, yeah.
around the whole entire day. I'm not going to do that. I'm lying.
Are you
but-
going to skip? Do you remember how to skip?
Oh, I think I could still skip.
You think
I haven't skipped in a long time.
Can I get that on video?
No, you
For
cannot.
proof? Oh,
Nope.
Then I don't believe you.
I talked to Gabby about flowers and doorknobs.
You did.
I believe it. Yeah, well
It
then
was a great conversation.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, see? Video or it didn't happen. That's what I'm saying. I'll send you a video of me skipping.
I have you dancing earlier. You all didn't get to see it. I am sorry for you.
Yeah, me too. It was fun.
It was funny. Like I didn't catch it till right before the intro went off, and I was like, "Dang it!" I mean, not that I could do anything about it. You're having more. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should take a break. You know, you're talking to people, and we're not sure they were there.
Bobby knows that they were there. As long as he thinks and knows that they were there in his own mind, you know.
I
just,
see. He even knows he shouldn't, but he's gonna rebel.
you know, it's fine. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes, we do. You should go find a pensioner and take their money and fly to the States, Haley. Don't do
I'm
that.
trying to
I'm
be cute.
kidding. I'm kidding.
That's not how that works, Gabby.
You
What?
tried to skip once, then I did a flip. That is
You did a flip.
You
Wait,
were skipping too high.
Wait, you skipped skipping and you just did a flip? You have to tell me how that happened.
He's formaldehyde high. The cats will keep an eye on him. That is true. Or they might eat his face. I don't know.
Well, don't tell him that. Especially if he's that high.
White, non-gender specific cutouts. What? Not reading the rest of that. I don't want to.
What the hell? What?
Oh my gosh, Battletown, stop. No. Skippity doo, my darling. All right. All right. No, we believe you. We may not understand because we weren't there, or did we partake? But we do believe you. The flip was a flop.
Maybe we were there, but we just didn't know we were there.
But we just didn't tell you we were there.
Right, but also, guys, remember tomorrow is Friday, so at noon, set an alarm so we all know.
It's spring. That's all I care about tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow at noon. That's my alarm.
Well, so it's 20th, so my alarm's already gone off this month. So I'm good till, well, whatever day. April 1st is not on a Friday, which would be funny if it was. Tiny little feet running down the hallway. Pat, pat, pat. That's right. Your husband yelled twig timber when he flip-flopped.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I would never even attempt to do that. You wouldn't want to know what my husband would yell. It would be
Mine would just
embarrassing.
probably like shake his head and be like, "Are you okay?"
My husband just knows not to eat.
Do I have to walk for you now too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Carry
now that you
me.
mention it. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, buy a sling and carry me. Smurf down.
Yes,
That's what your
exactly.
husband-
He would. He'd be like, Smurf down, Smurf down. Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
It's way past AJ's bedtime, guys.
I am landing the plane, so to speak. Heidel taught me that. To just land the plane. Just land it, damn it. I will be back Monday. Gabby, I hope you can, I know you can't, I know you won't be here, but hopefully you can check in to see if the state is yelling. And we're going to watch the verdict on Monday. I am corrupted. Well,
That
if
wasn't
there
me. That
wasn't
was Flashpan. Flashpan's the one who corrupted all of us.
That's right. I don't care what he says. And derailment, success. If there wasn't one, I would be sad. So the train can fly? I don't know.
Sure. Sure,
Yours
why not?
probably can. Yours probably
mean-
is flying right now.
There's that movie Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Why can't a train fly? I mean, you know, I'm not here to judge.
Well, I appreciate it, Heidel. I always think about it. I gotta land the plane and stop talking. But how are you landing a plane? Just like this.
Bye.
Hot mannequin love is kinda uncanny. Click, like, subscribe, ooh, piece of candy. Looking for my spotlight, chasing my vibe. Still looking for my credibility online. Ooh, hot mannequin love, candy on the floor, don't pick it up. Chasing all the clicks, chasing all the views. Credibility's hiding, but I'm bringing you the news. Ooh. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Hot mannequin love candy on the floor, don't pick it up. Looking for my credit, but I'll take